That's all good. Ready. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sergeant Eric Grip. I'm the Public Information Officer for the Philadelphia Police Department. We're here to provide information on a fatal officer-involved shooting that happened today at approximately 12:50 p.m. on the 4600 block of Roosevelt Boulevard on the grounds of Friends Hospital. First, we're going to be hearing from our mayor, the Honorable Sherelle L. Parker. She's going to be followed by our police commissioner, Kevin Bethel. I just want to caution you in advance, we're obviously still very early in this investigation, so while we will take some brief questions at the end, we're going to be limited in the response that we can give. Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you, Grip. Let me just start by affirming that again, at around 12:50 p.m. on today, a Philadelphia police officer was shot while he was on the job performing his duties outside of a hospital in Northeast Philadelphia. Now you're going to hear from Police Commissioner Bethel, and he'll provide you with all of the relevant details. However, I am pleased to report that our police officer is going to be okay, and his partner is going to be okay too. While the Commissioner will talk more about the specifics, I do want to note for the record that the officer was wearing his ballistic vest when he was shot. Now, all of our officers are required to wear their vests, and in this instance, the shot that hit the officer's vest was close to the bottom of his vest. But for an inch, we could be here right now with a very different set of circumstances and facts. You all have heard me say this during difficult moments that I strongly support our Philadelphia police officers who are on the front lines protecting and serving the people of our great city. They deserve our gratitude and respect, and they definitely have that from this mayor. Now I want you to hear from our Commissioner Bethel.
So, good afternoon, everyone. So I'll go through the facts, and as indicated by Sergeant Grip, I mean, this is still a significantly active investigation. At around 12:24 p.m. today, officers saw an individual running through the traffic. At some point during that process, they engaged the male. During that engagement, the individual was willing to be a voluntary commitment, a 201, which we described because he apparently was having some kind of mental health issue. The officers, part of a 201 commitment, is the individual, as indicated, is voluntarily going to a mental health for services. The officers called for a wagon, 1501 wagon. They put that male in the back of the wagon. That person is not handcuffed, as indicated he's being voluntarily going. When he arrived at Friends Hospital on the boulevard, the male exited the back of the vehicle. The officers are engaging him and direct him where he can go in to start that voluntary process. At some point during that, the individual turned and attacked the officer. A significant battle is underway and fighting amongst the officers. At some point, the officers are down on the ground. They're trying to retain the individual's now trying to take one of the officers' weapons. They are fighting. At some point during that, the officers tased this individual and were not successful. At some point during this altercation, the individual was able to get the officer's weapon. Shortly thereafter, there's an exchange of gunfire between the individual who now has the police officer's weapon and his partner. That individual, my officer, was then struck in his bulletproof vest, as the mayor indicated. We're very fortunate, about an inch below at the base of his vest, where he was struck and the bullet was repelled. The other officer was not struck. His partner was not struck. There was exchange of gunfire, as I indicated. The individual was shot multiple times. He was transported to Einstein Hospital, where he was pronounced. Both officers were brought here to Temple. Both officers have been treated and will be released. And we're fortunate today, as the mayor indicated. As I've shared with you multiple times, that I've been here multiple times with all of you. You know, this is a challenging job. So I continue to be proud of the men and women who continue to serve and give their life for this work. This is an innocent situation where the officers are just moving an individual who wants to get treatment. Unfortunately, it turns into a very tragic situation. But we are very fortunate, extremely fortunate, that the officers were able to survive this encounter. We will probably have more as we continue to investigate this matter. So I will stop there. and see if you have any questions.
Commissioner,
Who shot with his own gun?
when you say the other officer, 2 officers were here treated, what other injuries did the other officer sustain?
We just brought them here just to be, I won't get into what their level of treatment is, but they both were brought here and be reviewed. He was not shot. We have one officer who was shot in his bulletproof vest. The partner was not shot.
Could you provide ages and years
The one officer is 37 years old with 10 years of service. The other officer is 30 years of age with 6 years of service.
And which one was shot?
The officer with, I believe, the 30 years was the one who was shot.
Was the officer who was shot the one who fired back at the man?
No. The partner, once the individual was able to take the officer's weapon, his partner then engaged with the individual and shot him.
And can you describe when a bullet hits a bulletproof vest like that, what is it like for the officer? What are his injuries like?
Well, it depends. In this case, he's done extremely well. Depends on where the bullet strikes. It can be very traumatic to the body, even though, the vest is built to expand that trauma to the body outward, away from the body. So there is at times some significant penetration as a result, depending where the strike is. In this case, he's doing extremely well.
So the officer he ended up being shot with his own weapon, is that right?
He was shot, yes. The individual was able to, we don't know. We're going through that process now. We do know that it was an exchange of gunfire between the 2 individuals. The officer suffered a wound a strike to his bulletproof vest.
So it's not clear if he was shot by his gun or his partner?
We're going through that. That's why I said we're in the preliminary stages of the investigation. What we do know is the individual was firing his weapon at police.
Where was the man
The weapon.
Where was the man initially running through traffic? Where was
I believe it's a 5,000 block of Torresdale.
Torresdale?
Yes, ma'am.
And that the man who shot, it definitely was a police weapon. He wasn't armed in any way before he took the weapon off.
That is correct.
Okay.
Do you have any idea how many shots were fired in total?
I won't be able to share that with you at this time. We do know that multiple rounds were fired, but we'll not be able to tell you the specific number.
My apologies. What district, if you didn't say?
The 15th district.
15th, thank you.
And the man who died, where were his injuries?
I won't be able to share that with you at this time.
And do you have an age for him at all? Or you said that?
I don't have his age at this moment.
Okay.
Thank you all so very
Okay,
much.
thank you, everybody.
Thank
All right,
you.
all right.
Thanks, sir.
So the individual was 36 years of age. 36.
The individual was?
Who was decedent was
Okay,
36.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.